Hi gamers, mums and dads, today we are looking at top heavy fractions and how to make them a little bit prettier. Now when I was at school they were called fat fractions, but I'm not sure you're allowed to call them that these days. So this is top heavy, and what we mean is the top number is bigger than the bottom number. Now to me that's a perfectly good answer, but if in the question it says show in the simplest form or simplify, then we have to do a little bit more work. So you might have been given away by this right hand side here, but the best way to do this is by our friend division. Now to remember the method, all you have to do is think of knocking the fraction over that way so the 22 falls to the right hand side. So we do a little bit of work on the side here, we'll leave the 5 where it is at the bottom, the 22 falls over, so it goes into like a division like this. So we're doing 5 divided into 22. Now mathematicians are lazy, and fractions, all that line means is divide anyway, so this and this, they are, I promise you, exactly the same thing. So go over to the long division video if you are a bit unsure on how to do this, but we use the add method here, which is a dead easy one. We look at how many 5s go into the first number 2, and as per normal it doesn't go any time because the first one is 5, so it goes 0. And how many spare do we get to go from 0 to 2? We of course get 2. So now we're looking at 5 divided into 22, which is sort of how we started, and we'll go down here like this. 4 times is 20, 5 is too high, so we know it's 4. And how many have we got left over from 20? We've got 21, 22, 2 left over. So just like long division, we put remainder 2. Now this is a fraction, so we have to write it a little bit different. So number on the top goes as a big number, an integer. We've got remainder 2, so what you do then is just bring the 2 across here over the top. So we've got 2 over 5. So 22 over 5 can be written nice and pretty as 4 2/5. So just to recap the method, what you do is you knock the 22 over, so you've got 5 into 22. You solve this puzzle and you get the 4 on the top, remainder 2. So the 4 becomes, whatever's on the top of this line is your integer or the main number here. And when you look at the remainder, you just bring it across here. So you've got 2/5. It's easy to remember like this because people sometimes switch it upside down, and some people put the 2 here and the 4 there. But the main way to remember is whatever's on the top of the line is your main number, and then the remainder just comes across to the end. Now if you have remainder 0, then you don't need this bit at all. So you just end up with the number. For example, if it was 20 over 5, that would be 5 into 20, which is 4, remainder 0. So for that one, the answer is just 4. And as you know, 20 divided by 5 is 4, because we've done it here. So that is how to go from a top heavy number into a nice pretty fraction. So you have to use division, which is what fractions are all about anyway. Now how do we get from this number to this number, or this type to this type? So from a standard way of writing fractions to top heavy, you might think, why do I even do that in the first place? But it does help in other methods. So let's go back to where we were. 4 2/5 equals, that's easy way to remember. First of all, you always leave this bottom number on the bottom. So this bit here goes there. Now what goes on the top? So you just need to remember this little method here, and it's the big number multiplied by the number at the bottom, and then you add on what's on the top. So it's 4 times 5 plus 2. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 2 is 22. And that is how we get back to our number there. So again, the method is whatever fraction you have, keep the bottom fraction the same as per we do in most methods, and on the top is big number times bottom. 3 times 3 is 9, add on what's on the top, 11. So it's this times this, add on this, and that's what you get. So 3 2/3 is 11/3. So that is top heavy fractions, nice and simple. So to get from top heavy to normal, you just do a divide. Just remember the method in terms of putting it all back together at the end. And to get from a standard fraction to a top heavy fraction, you just have to use a little formula, leave the bottom the same, number times the bottom plus the top, and that's how we get to 22. So that's top heavy fractions. Thanks for watching, bye!